Hi, if you're now joining, hello. If you are watching the replay, hi. See how I changed my voice for those watching the replay. Hi, my name is Amma Duncan. You know how some people want to start their own business, but they are confused as to how and what to even do? Well, I help these women in business, new women in business, to plan, execute, and achieve their business goals so that they can create wealth and impact people. So this is what I do for a living. I am a corporate trainer and a business coach. In this group, the Fabulous Women Community, I am the proud chief servant. And one of the activities that we have in this group, we have many different activities that we do on different days. On Wednesdays at 9 p.m. GMT, I bring a book review because every month, the beginning of every new month, we advertise a new book that we will read throughout the book. So last month, which was March, we read Everything is Figuroutable by Marie Forleo. However, I was supposed to actually do the live yesterday at 9 p.m. Okay, so I'll tell you the reason I didn't do it, because you guys, like, you're my ladies, you're my friends, so I can share. So the light in Ghana, the power these days has been going on and off. You know what we call doomsaw in Ghana. And I had several calls, so by the time I was done, I didn't have enough power. And then I've also noticed that when the light goes off, the two networks that I use two of the biggest networks that we have, telcos, they all fluctuate. So it makes live videos really frustrating for you, the person watching, me, the person doing it. So I thought, let me just wait and do it today. And so that's why I didn't do it. Anointed Susie, hi. Oh, thank you for the encouragement. God bless you. Susie says, keep up the good work. Thank you. It's really nice to know. Yes, I feel that I'm definitely doing the best I can, but to have someone else saying that, I think that's really encouraging. So thank you so much, lady, for blessing me with your kind words. And so yes, ladies, that's why yesterday I didn't do the live and I decided to postpone it till this morning. So even though we are in April and we are doing a totally new book, I just thought, let me finish with Everything is Figuroutable. I hope you've been reading it along with me. I love this book. I've listened to it so many times along with other books because it's a good book to read. It's full of great stories that I can relate to, even though Marie is an American. She has her own TV show. She's an entrepreneur and all that. She's American, she's white, I am black, but I can relate with her on so many levels. So I really hope that if you read the book, you got value from it as well. Today I'm going to do the last review of this book. Hi Faith, thank you. So for those who are watching live, thank you. If you're not able to watch live and you're watching the replay as well, thank you. It will be nice to hear from you if you're watching the replay to let me know, okay? So I'll announce the book for April later, but please, happy new month. Happy new month. I know that April is going to be amazing. Quarter one personally was really good for me on all levels. Like, so many wonderful things happened. I'm choosing to focus on the wonderful things that happened to me, and I'm really grateful. We ended with a workshop for women leaders, which I couldn't have gotten that kind of results. It wasn't me. It was definitely God. It wasn't me. It wasn't the facilitators. It wasn't the people. It was definitely God. And I just realized I haven't even shared the pictures from that event. I will definitely have to remember to share them. To God be all the glory. And I'm very confident and hopeful that this month will also be very good. Not just for me, but for all of us. So back to the book. Everything is Figuroutable. I keep sharing the link to getting it. If you don't have it, I will share it. Depending on where you're watching this from, I will share it in the... Yeah, everybody's watching in the group, right? I'll share it in the caption when I'm done, and I may share it also in the comment. But please just get the book. I use Audible. So with Audible, I'm able to read one book a day because I'm just listening as I go about my duties. It's just like listening to a podcast, and it's really easy for me that way. So Marie Forleo is a hostess. She has her own show called Marie TV, which you can find on YouTube. She has a podcast as well. You can find her. She's amazing. She's really amazing, and she gives such amazing content. She's an entrepreneur. She lives in New York, in the US, and her book, Everything is Figuroutable, I believe is her second book, and that's the book we've been reviewing. Last week we talked about defining your dream, which was chapter 6 of the book. We are going to end this review with chapter 10, which is the words that Marie always says at the end of her show. She always says, the world needs your special gift. The world needs your special gift. And so I don't know who this message is for. Like, I always pray that God, whoever needs to hear this message that I'm sharing today, whoever needs to see this, I just pray that God brings them to it. Even if it's one person, 2 people, 5, it doesn't matter how many. I just feel that if anyone needs it, I know my God will bring you to it. So I'm going to start. So like I always do, I read a little portion of the book, and then I will just explain in my own words as I read. Okay, so I'm going to start by reading. Hi, Hetty Ejabia. I am going to start by reading the chapter 10. The title of chapter 10 is The World Needs Your Special Gift. The world needs your special gift. So I'm going to read a little story on this subtopic, which is you are here for a reason. Like, if you're watching me now, you are here for a reason. If you're watching the replay, you are here for a reason. If you're alive, you are here for a reason. Wherever it is that you are in this world right now, you are there for a reason. So I'm going to read. Early in our relationship, Josh would leave town for work and return home only to find empty cans of mac and cheese stuffed in our trash. He would offer me vitamin supplements and suggest that we start juicing. And I'll be like, whatever, man, hippie man, and calling him all sorts of names. He was persistently kind, and I was persistently stubborn. I don't want to. It's too expensive, too weird. Just no. Pass me the mac and cheese, please. A few years later, I became friends with Chris Carr, a cancer thriver and wellness icon who touted the benefits of juicing, superfoods, and a plant-based diet. Josh, oh my God, I met this amazing woman. She's a total badass who's written all these best-selling health books. Check out these recipes for smoothies and green juices and salads. Here's the juicer we need to get. And oh yeah, she said we should take these supplements. We really should have started this years ago. A justified face palm moment for Josh. Marie, you've got to be kidding me. I've been telling you the exact same thing for years now. Why couldn't you hear it from me? And that's the point. One of the biggest obstacles to figuring out your dream is this. You incorrectly assume that it's all been done before. You don't believe you have anything original, valuable, or worthwhile to contribute. You don't feel special or talented enough to add your voice to the mix. Hi, Eudora. Thank you for joining. It's time to set the record straight. No matter how many times you think an idea or creation has been shared in the world, sometimes it takes that one person expressing it in their unique voice at the right time, in the right place, for it to actually make a difference. You are the person for somebody. I'll take this again. No matter how many times you think an idea or a creation has been shared in the world, sometimes it takes that one person expressing it in their unique voice at the right time, in the right place, for it to actually make a difference. And I have a personal experience of this. So just in case you are now joining, I'm reading Marie Forleo'S Everything is Figuroutable, and we are doing chapter 10, which is talking about how the world needs your special gift. And Marie just shared a story about how her husband had been trying to get her to eat healthy, juice and everything for 2 years. This woman was still doing her mac and cheese and was like, nah, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, Marie met this lady who survived cancer and is helping people to live well. And the lady suggested to her that, hey, you should be drinking juice and you should be taking these supplements. The exact same thing that her husband had been telling her. She ignored what her husband was saying, but when it was this other lady, she took it. Why? Because the timing was right and the message had to be delivered by a different person. Look at it this way. Those of us who are Christians or even different religions, and we have our own leaders and all that, there are messages that these leaders, religious leaders, the same message, the same Bible, they will preach it to us over and over again. We will never change. One day, a different pastor from maybe another church visits your church and then says the exact same thing to you, and then suddenly you change. Why? That message needed to be delivered to you by a different people, and the timing had to be right. So there's such a thing as the timing, the place, and all that before you actually get the message. So it's not just about the message, but it's about who is delivering it and the timing especially. And so thank you for the likes. So if you have a message, if God has put something on your heart that you feel that you really should share, but you're like, but this message, people have heard it over and over again. And yeah, it's true. Like sometimes I pick these books that I'm coming to share. I'm like, but this thing we've talked about this over and over again, finding your purpose, knowing your purpose. Like, I feel like I'm tired. But there's a reason God keeps laying it on my heart to do these exact same things. You never know who is going to watch it. As I'm doing this live now, at this very instance, there is 0 people watching. It could be that the next minute somebody will come and then the words I will say will be the exact thing that the person needs to hear. And I get that all the time, where people will send me a message, oh, Amma, thank you for this and thank you for that. But maybe at the time I was doing the video, nobody was even watching. The person would have watched the replay, or maybe there was just that one person watching. And that message was for that exact person. And so this is why you have to do what it is God has laid on your heart. The world needs your special gift. You are here for a reason. There is a reason that you were created. There is no way. I heard somewhere, someone said, was it Patrice Washington or someone said, God doesn't create extras. You are not an afterthought. You are part of the puzzle. You matter. So whatever it is that is on your heart, whatever it is that you need to do, you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, you are robbing someone. And that brings me to the next point, which says, you are stealing from those who need you most. Yes, and I'm going to read. Stealing. There are countless people out there who need the gifts you and only you are here to give. If you don't get off your ass and do the things your heart keeps telling you to do, the world would have lost something truly irreplaceable. You. It will have lost your unique voice, your unique energy, your unique ideas and stories and perspective. By holding back and playing small, you are robbing countless people of the goodness and joy and healing and growth that only your unique contributions can offer. Maybe you are stealing from your future customers or fans who are waiting for the exact kind of fill in the blank. Is it a book you've been that's really on your heart to write? Is it a song that you really want to compose? Is it a story you want to write? A movie, a novel, a stand-up routine, speech, non-profit, educational platform, pasta dish, t-shirt, app, etc. that you've been dreaming of? What is it that you've been dreaming of? And then you're like, but this thing, a lot of people have done it before. I don't need to do it again. No, that is not for you to decide. I'm sorry. That's not for me to decide. It's not for me to say, but this talk about purpose and this talk about business and starting your own business and all that. We've all heard it plenty times. I'm tired, I'm not going to say it. It's not for you to do it. There are 7 billion, actually, we are probably even 8 billion as we speak now, people on earth. You cannot say that your message is not for anyone. It is for someone in specific, and God created you for that. So whatever it is that is on your heart, go on and do it. You know, don't sit there and think and overthink and say, but people have done it. No. So I'll read on here. There's a quote by Gospel of Thomas. I think it's in, I don't know whether Thomas, whoever this person is. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you don't bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Consider all the things that have brought you joy, value, growth throughout your lifetime. Every song that has made your head bop. Every movie that's made you laugh, cry, or expand your point of view. Every athlete or artist who has inspired you to reach for more. Every invention that's made your life easier. Every restaurant that served a dish that's made you moan with delight. Every book that's opened your eyes to a different world. Every teacher, mentor, neighbor, or friend whose words or actions or leadership has guided you. Any bit of technology, be it electricity, Wi-Fi, cameras, that somehow enhanced your life. Imagine if all those beautiful people never followed the call of their soul, never figured out their dreams and created and contributed and shared. Imagine if all these things that you enjoy, all these things you love, all these like the car and aeroplane that you use, phone, mobile phone. Imagine if Steve Jobs and Apple and Microsoft and all these people had just sat there and were like, oh no, but nobody even needs this. I don't know how to do it. And they were thinking and overthinking it. And for that reason, imagine if they hadn't created that. You wouldn't be enjoying it. I remember one of my coaching clients at one time, we were talking about what she really wanted to do, which was an amazing idea. But she was hesitating because she thought, but who would even listen to her? Who is she that people will listen to her? What's the point? So I asked her, okay, who is it that you admire? And she gave an example of a woman who she really admires because this woman is helping people who are underprivileged and she really admires her. But this woman, as part of her job, she has to put herself out there for people to see what she's doing, support her, and then also in order to be able to get more people to help. And so I asked her, imagine that this woman you admire decides that I'm not putting myself out there because I am scared of what people will say or how people will judge me, or I'm scared of making a mistake. And this woman is not able to do her job, which is helping people, underprivileged people. Imagine if that were the case. How would you feel? And the woman just went, oh my God. Because that idea was inconceivable. It's inconceivable that the woman won't do what she has to do just because she's afraid. But that's exactly how we feel anytime we hesitate to do what God wants us to do. This is how we should put it. Whoever needs you is being deprived of you because you are not putting yourself out there. You are afraid of putting yourself out there. Maybe you are selling clothes and you think, oh, how can selling clothes be a ministry? I'm just selling fashion or whatever. You don't know what you are doing to help other people. Whatever it is, whatever service, maybe you're a waitress, maybe you're a doctor, a teacher, a plumber, whatever it is that you're doing, you're thinking, but if I don't go to work, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. Somebody sitting somewhere needs specifically you, and maybe not even your colleague. So don't sit there and say, but maybe helping women. A lot of people are helping women. Duncan is there, this person is there, then you are mentioning names, so because of that you won't. Please, so look at the number of women we have even in Ghana alone, Africa alone, let alone the world. How many of these women am I serving? As I'm doing this live, as of this minute, I see only 3 people watching. Oh, no. I'm not saying only, like 3 people is a small number, but I'm as compared to even the number of people in the group. 4 people now. How can I possibly reach everybody to the extent that I should be the only one doing this job? Definitely not. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for watching. Definitely not. So you cannot say that you have the message, but because people are sharing the same message, let's say you're a preacher, as for the gospel, everybody knows the gospel. No, somebody somewhere needs you to be the one preaching it to them. So when you feel the call to do these things, don't give up. What is God laying on your heart? Don't say that, oh, I give up because like people have done it. The world needs you. Yes, you. Whoever it is you are hearing my voice at this time of the day. Okay, the best part of today's discussion for me is this discussion on imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've ever faced it. So imposter syndrome, I think the book actually explains it, but let me explain it first. When you feel like a fraud, you feel that you are not worth the amount you are taking, or maybe you win an award and you feel like, oh, but I don't deserve it. This other person deserves it. Your mind will give you all sort of rationalizations as to why it shouldn't really have gotten to you and it's a mistake. And so you are waiting, like you are feeling, oh my God, they are going to find out the next minute that I don't deserve this. It has happened to me so many times. People call me to come train their staff. And then first of all, even by calling me, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to tell them? I don't know what I'm going to tell them. I'm not good at this. And this is someone who has been training for 15 years. I'm already feeling that. And then maybe they call me, I go, I give it my best shot. I leave the place and I'm thinking, oh my God, they won't call me again. I was terrible. And then they call me again. And I'm like, no, that must be a mistake. You see, it's like I am always looking for a reason to validate the fact that I am not good enough. That's imposter syndrome. You are actually good enough. I am good enough. I am fabulous. But then, hi, Johanna. But then I am always second guessing, thinking and rethinking. Oh my God, I'm not good enough. Oh my God, they will find out and they will take this contract away from me. Have you ever had a contract and you are so afraid they'll call you the next minute and say, oh, we made a mistake. You are not the one. That's imposter syndrome talking. And it's amazing, but apparently over 70% of the people in the world face it. So if you have ever felt it, know that you are not alone. I feel it all the time. And in fact, there's been studies. I have actually shared a video. I think I've scheduled it to the group. It will show later. There's been studies to the effect that people actually go through that a lot. And so I'm going to read what the book has to say on imposter syndrome and then share a few of the strategies that has been proposed by Marie that I feel can really help. Okay, so the title is Overcome the Fraud Factor. So I read, what do J-Lo, Jodie Foster, and Maya Angelou have in common? It's not the fact that they are all award-winning cultural icons. It's that they've all felt like imposters, total fakes, and frauds. Yes, you heard right. J-Lo, Jodie Foster, Maya Angelou. Now, I'm going to read quotes by each one of them. Jennifer Lopez says, even though I have sold over 70 million albums, there I was feeling like I am no good at this. J-Lo. Jodie Foster says, when I won the Oscar, I thought it was a fluke. I thought everybody would find out and they would take it back. Excuse me, we meant to give that to someone else. That was going to Meryl Streep. This is Jodie Foster. Hi, Tilly. Thank you for watching. Johanna says, our thoughts can rip us of our dreams. True. Maya Angelou, the great Maya Angelou. I love her. She's no more, but her legacy lives on. She keeps touching our lives. This is what she says. I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they are going to find out now. I have run a game on everyone and they are going to find me out. You see? So even the greats of the greats that we celebrate, we applaud, we admire, we look up to, we learn from, they have had their own share of imposter syndrome. So my sister, if you and I, Amma Duncan, we are going through imposter syndrome, let's know that it's normal. This is what great people go through. So yes, you and I are great too. Like I said earlier, I get called to do customer service training and initially I am blank. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to tell them? This is a lady who has taught customer service for 15 years. Not just, I mean, apart from teaching, I have practiced it so many times. 15 years. I've been in employment actually 16 years or even more. And yet, anytime I'm called, I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say to them? And then I get called for jobs. There are jobs that call me or they give me a contract and I'm confused. I'm like, oh God, they'll find out I'm not good enough. I'm always second guessing, thinking, oh God, I'm not good enough. If this is you, first of all, I'm sending you hugs. I am sending you hugs. And the sad thing is when we even validate this by, oh, the number of likes, the number of views, the number of, and then we are comparing ourselves with others and seeing how others are doing and we are thinking, no, I'm not there, so I'm not like that. Please, let's stop doing that to ourselves. I have sat in classrooms with lecturers from some of the top universities. I've been in classes that people who went to Harvard or Stanford and all that were there. And my sister, yes, those are great schools. But what is it that you think set them apart from us? We have to stop this mentality that we are not good enough. We are amazing. You watching, whether you are watching this live or the replay, you are amazing. You are amazing. And I hope you believe that because you truly are. You truly are. Let's see some of the strategies that Marie shares for how to deal with imposter syndrome. The first one I love. I think it's actually my favorite because that's what I've been practicing. It says, share the shame. Share the shame. Can I have someone type it in the comments, please? Share the shame. Share the shame. Most high achievers struggle with feeling like a fake, but never talk about it. It's like a dirty little secret everyone's afraid to admit. I'll tell you right now. I still feel like this at times, and I've been doing this work for almost 2 decades. Brené Brown says, as a shame researcher, I know that the very best thing to do in the midst of a shame attack is totally counterintuitive. Practice courage and reach out. Brené is on point. You know why? Because shame always shrivels when you share it loud. It simply cannot exist when brought into the light. To take the idea even further, I recommend you put 1 or 2 trusted souls on speed dial for when the fraud festival comes to town. These folks are your new fraud squad. People you can connect with and say, hey, I'm feeling like I suck right now. Can you remind me of why I don't? And just saying these words is making me emotional, ladies. I don't know. It really helps to have somebody to talk to, somebody who gets you. So imagine, thank you, Tilly and Kelly. So imagine, thank you, Johanna. Imagine if Johanna, Tilly, Kelly, you've all been facing imposter syndrome just like as I do. And then we are a community. And then I put it in the group, hey, ladies, I'm feeling like a fraud today. Help me. Imagine the comments, the feedback that I will receive you. Some of you may call me. Some of you may just respond and say, hey, Amma, you remember when you did XYZ? You know you are not a fraud. Amma, remember when we read the book and the book talked about it? Remember when Maya Angelou said that? Remember when J-Lo said that? You know you are not a fraud. Even just saying these words, I'm getting goosebumps. How much more if this were the reality? I always speak of accountability, having accountability partners. This is why everybody needs a community. You need a support squad helping you, telling you, Amma, you know you are not a fraud. Amma, you know you are amazing. And there are days that I'm down. There are days that I'm doing live videos and I would like to see 2 million people watching, but instead I have 5 or 0. But it would be amazing to have a community of women who, like me, sometimes do videos and instead of having 2 million, they have 5 or 0. Who understand that, Amma, you know you are amazing. You know it's not because you are not good enough. You know maybe people are busy or whatever reason, but then they are cheering you on, sending you encouraging messages. I have mastermind groups. I talk about it all the time. Last night, I was in one of such meetings. I have also created my own mastermind group to help women I've coached. Those who have been through my group coaching for startups, when they finish, I offer them the mastermind group. Our last session was amazing. We went there to talk about business, but we were instead talking about personal issues that people had. Because you know what? These issues make it difficult for us to do business. So we spent 2 hours talking about, personal issues, helping people deal with stuff that is stopping them. I do business, and I know if I'm not in the right frame of mind, I can't do business. I can't brush it under. I need people to share stuff with. So imagine if you had a fraud squad, like Marie calls it, a fraud squad that you can just talk to, call and say, hey, Johanna, today is not a good day. I'm not having a good day. I'm feeling like a fraud. Maybe I've been invited to a country to go and speak on something, and I feel like I am not good enough to speak about it. Johanna gives it to me and reminds me of why I am fabulous. Because you see, this whole imposter syndrome thing, it is just that. It is imposter syndrome. That feeling you are feeling is not correct. It is not the truth about you. And so, share it. Share it. Share the shame. Do you have a group of friends, other women like you, or maybe with men, that you can call and share your shame with without feeling like they are going to judge you? This is not a group that's going to judge you. This is a group that gets you, that will understand, that will pray with you, that will explain things to you, that will open your eyes to what you yourself, you are capable of. That will remind you, because we forget. No matter how many things we've achieved, we forget. Oh yes, we human beings, especially when you hit a downturn, you drop a few balls, you make mistakes, you forget. You forget how amazing you are. You forget how fabulous you are. Let me read the second strategy. Okay, actually, even before, let me read the next strategy. Start a hype file. I thought this was so cool. And I was like, why haven't I been doing this? A hype file. So let me read it. A hype file is a place where you stockpile compliments, thank yous, accolades, and any comments from people who have said you've positively impacted them. Maybe it was a text from a friend, a note from a colleague, or a voicemail from a client. No kind word or display of appreciation is too small for your hype file. You can even add your accomplishments too. Collect them in a central location and review as often as needed. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. A hype file can combat the negative effect of imposter syndrome and reground you in the reality that, yes, you are in fact the real deal. I love this. So on my Instagram, for instance, I have testimonials. Those who follow me on Instagram, the Fabulous Woman Network. I have a page. One of my highlights is testimonials, and I have put there testimonials from different people I've worked with, different people who have said thank you and all that. And I feel that's such a great source. Sometimes, occasionally, I'll just go and then I'll read what people have said. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I did that. Imagine that all the people who reach out to you and say thank you for whatever thing, you keep it. Like, seriously, I think this hype file thing is a good idea. Keep it. Because you never know the day that you are feeling so down, and then you go there, you read, like the day you are feeling you are not good enough. Like, for instance, I speak for a living, right? And let's say maybe one day I go and speak somewhere and I'm feeling that I didn't give it my best shot and I'm feeling down. Sometimes that happens to me. Sometimes I speak and I feel like I was on fire. And then other times I speak and I feel like people didn't get me. I didn't really give it my all and I didn't speak well. Like recently it happened to me. But imagine if I have this Hive file. I just go to it and I read reviews from previous speeches that I've given. Do you know that one reverend father, I have never met him, from a town, it wasn't Obuasi, Sunyani, some place, called me some time back, a couple of years ago, and told me that he has printed one of my speeches, and every time he has Form 1 students, he's a teacher in a school, Form 1 as in SHS 1 students, he gives them my speech to read. My speech to read. This is someone who sometimes feel not good enough, inadequate. I feel like I am, I feel like, oh my God, I'm not. And sometimes I'm even comparing myself to others and feeling so low. If I were so not good enough, why would this reverend father, print my speech and show it to young girls and boys in secondary school? So imagine if I have this on record. You see, now I'm sharing this here, but there are times that I forget that it was the same girl who wrote that speech. I write my own speeches. Nobody writes them for me. And then I'm feeling low. And then I go to this Hive file and I see this comment from this reverend minister. Imagine how much boost it will give me. Or that I see a testimonial, like Johanna, you gave me a testimonial. A day that I'm feeling so low. Maybe I've finished my group coaching and I'm thinking, I didn't give them value. And sometimes I feel like that. I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. But then I go to the testimonial Johanna shared with me or another client shared with me. Imagine how much energy that will give me. This is the value of what's it called? A Hype file. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have it, start it. Anytime somebody sends you a text message of something amazing you've done, take a screenshot, keep it. Keep it in a place. So for instance, on a Google Drive, keep it. And days that you are feeling low, go to it, check it out. Remind yourself of how awesome you are, because actually you are. It's just that there are days we feel low, some days we feel high. But it doesn't mean you are not. My lady, milady, you are amazing. And I myself, I am amazing. I am a fabulous child of God. I hope you confess that to yourself. So we've talked about sharing the shame. That's the first thing. This is dealing, just in case you are now joining us, dealing with imposter syndrome, okay? The first thing we talked about is share the shame. Have a group, a squad that you can easily call and say, Charlie ladies, I'm not feeling good. That is one. And then they give you the hype. Or you create the hype file yourself where you've put together, what people have said to you, the thank yous and all that. You can also put it together. That's cool. The last one, I love that too. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it's worth trying. The last one says, shine your light out, not in. Shine your light out, not in. I'm going to read. Think of your attention, your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy as a flashlight that can only shine in one direction. In any given moment, your flashlight is either shining in on you or how much you feel like a fake, or it's shining out on others, what they need, want, and how you can help them. When your flashlight is shining out, you're giving zero attention to your fraud feelings. Without attention, those feelings can't survive. Shining your light on others doesn't need to be time-consuming or overly complicated. Any act of kindness can do the trick. Maybe you send your boss a thank you note detailing something specific that made a difference to you. Perhaps you offer support to a neighbor in need. You could even visit a local elderly home and find out who hasn't had any visitors lately and go make their day. Look around. There is no shortage of people hungry for a moment of connection. Next time you catch yourself feeling like a fraud, check yourself. Chances are you are shining your flashlight on yourself rather than directing it where it can make its greatest impact, that is caring for others. For more tips to combat the fraud feeling, search Marie TV plus Imposter Syndrome online to watch the episode. So I've actually shared this in this group. If it hasn't come already, it will come sometimes today. I scheduled this particular video. I've shared it in the group, but you can Google it, Marie TV plus Imposter Syndrome. Ladies, I think this is an amazing thing because like it's saying, when you are feeling imposter syndrome, it's a feeling and you are feeling it within. You are looking at yourself and you are feeling that you're not good enough, or you don't deserve something, or you just dropped the ball, or whatever it is. However, if you can take the attention off you and give it to someone else, not the negative attention, but positive. You go, let's say they talked about you helping out in an elderly home, or just being nice to someone, maybe calling someone and chatting them, telling them how awesome they are. The attention moves from you and goes to someone else. And you kill the syndrome, at least for that minute, you kill it. Like I said, I haven't tried it, but when I thought about it, I was like, this is cool. This is really cool. So you know what I'm going to do? Next time I feel imposter syndrome, which rears its ugly head sometimes, a lot. Next time it does, I'm going to try that. I'm going to call someone, or I'm going to try to do something nice for someone who needs help and see how that feels like. Ladies, imposter syndrome is killing a lot of our dreams, and it's not fair. We are also fabulous children of God. He has created us for a purpose. We must not, I repeat, we must not allow imposter syndrome to make us stop doing what it is that God wants us to do. It is not fair to us, to God who created us, to the people who need our services. We cannot think of the number of times people have said thank you to you. Imagine that if you hadn't done what it is that made them say thank you. And so we need to do what we got to do. And I'm really happy that Marie gives these 3 tips, sharing the shame, starting a high file, and then shining your light out and not in. I really hope this has been of value to you, this discussion. I have loved reading and talking about everything is figureoutable. So I'm going to sum it up here. I'm going to sum it up shortly, and I will also announce the book for next month. Well, this month, because we are in April already. So, oh yes, before I go, remember, I do coaching for new women in business. I help you plan, execute, and achieve your business goals. Just today, before doing this live, I watched another one of my coaching clients doing her own live video. When she came, one of her biggest thing was she was afraid of putting herself out there. She has amazing products and services, but she feels shy. And sometimes it's not even about the shyness, but she's also like, oh, why should I even do it? So we gave her accountability. It wasn't easy, but by God's grace, she's doing live videos now. Today I was watching her. I was feeling so proud. I help women like that. I've helped other women who said they wanted to start their own groups, but they didn't know how. I've helped them. They've been women who wanted to create their own product. I have helped them. Women who were one of the biggest category of people I get to work with are women who are afraid of putting themselves out there. Themselves out there. They are shy, or they feel like, oh, people will judge me and all that. Yeah, I have been able to help these women. I don't know what it is that you need in terms of business. If you're looking to start your own business, but you feel stuck, you don't know how to go about it, you're confused, you need someone to brainstorm with, I am the business coach you're looking for. I will be happy to help you through my group coaching for startups. So I am relaunching, God willing, next week we start. You can be in the Thursday group or the Saturday group. We meet at 6 p.m. GMT every evening. Every Thursday or Saturday for 6 weeks. But before that, you and I will do a one-on-one so we can clarify what it is exactly that you want to achieve. And then when you are done Every week we'll meet, you'll have assignments. So yes, I need you to commit. That's the biggest thing I ask. I've had people pay but not commit, and it breaks my heart. I need you to commit. If you're not committed, I can't give you my best shot. God can't even help you if you're not committed. So you need to commit. Every assignment you do is about your business. Every book you read is about your business. Everything you will do in that process is your business. And one of the biggest value is even the community of amazing, supportive young women from different parts of the world that you get to work with in this group. So if you feel this is what you need, click on the link. If you're watching this on Instagram, link in bio. If you're watching this in this group, I'm going to share the link in the caption. Click on it, group coaching for startups, and then get the support you need. You can also call us. My assistant's name is Seth. Call us on +233 246 25 2330. +233 246 25 2330. Or you can WhatsApp as well and ask for more information. I will be happy to work with you. I always pray that God, whoever needs me at this time, you lead them to me. So if you feel God nudging you, let's talk. And if you have any thing that's holding you back, let's talk as well. Apart from the group, you can also work with me one-on-one. I have one-on-one business coaching that I do. So feel free to reach out. But please remember, you need to be committed. If you are not, we won't get anywhere. And it breaks my heart when people even pay and they are not committed. I like, that really stresses me out. The people who get results, they are the ones who are committed. The people who don't get results, they are not committed. That's what I've seen, and I've worked with. In that group, I have a group of the group coaching for startups alone. I have a group for them, and currently there are a little over 40 women that I've worked with over the past 1 year. Before, I was doing only one-on-one coaching. The only time I ever did group coaching was for another company. It wasn't my own product. This particular one is my own product, and I'll be happy to help you if this is something you need. So let me recap. Today we've been talking about Everything is Figuroutable by Marie Forleo, a lady I obviously have a crush on. So she's been talking about going for your dreams and all that, and she ends with the world needs your special gift. We've talked about the fact that if God is laying something on your heart, lady, you got to do it. Look, there is no time. We cannot sit here thinking that we have all the time in the world. We could drop any minute. And once we go on to the next assignment and whatever God has for us next. So we cannot sit and assume that that thinking like, oh, there's time. No. The time is now. If God is laying it on your heart, start taking the steps now. So we talked about that and the fact that everybody is needed. God created each one of us for a reason. And then we talked about imposter syndrome. Marie shared 3 things that we can do when we face imposter syndrome. And I've shared how I myself have dealt with, on a consistent basis, I deal with imposter syndrome all the time. People call me and want to pay me dollars and I'm confused. I'm like, me? You want to pay me dollars? Like, do I even deserve it? I don't, but I do. I'm a fabulous child of God, and so do you. You deserve pounds, euros. Which currency do you want to earn? It is possible. There was a time in my life that my boss told me, Amma, you deserve $1,000, but I can't pay. Hey, that statement made me feel like I was walking on. That time I was getting like 900 Ghana cedis or something. But the fact that my boss told me, because I didn't even think I deserved that kind of money. I won't even come and ask you for pay raise. The only time I mustered the courage to ask my boss for pay raise, God, I felt so bad. How could I ask for more money? I felt ungrateful. These days, people pay me that kind of money, and I know what. Thank you, Sylvia. I am a fabulous child of God. I deserve it. You deserve it. Johanna, you deserve it. Kelly, Tilly, whoever is watching, you deserve it because you are fabulous. Look, the people who are earning $1 million, they are no more fabulous than us. So they are using certain strategies that God has laid bare in the Bible, in books and all that. We just have to take it and run with it. Let's take it and run with it. So these are the 3 strategies that Marie shares to handle imposter syndrome. First, share the shame. Get an accountability group, share the shame. I have my mastermind groups, accountability groups that I share my own shames with. Heck, some of the shames are so much that, in fact, let me confess here, sometimes I don't share. There are some things that I feel like it's too much. I feel like it's not even about me being vulnerable. It's too embarrassing for me to share. But I go through that. Imposter syndrome. It's only recently, actually was last Saturday, when I mastered the courage to share my own imposter syndrome wahala. My son is playing the keyboard. I don't know if you can hear it. I feel that all the time. Not good enough. Oh, my sister, please. I feel it. Don't let me fool you. So anyway, share the shame. Get an accountability group or partner. Share the shame. If yours is related to business, feel free to join my group coaching for startups, because we give that kind of accountability. Second one, start a hype file. Hyping yourself. The people that have said nice things about you, place them in there. And you know what you can add to your hype file? The messages God has given you. Personal messages. What God has said about you. What, it could be a Bible quotation that you know that this one was specifically for you. It could also be even prophecies and all that. I think it would be good to add those. And then the last one is shine your light on others. Instead of you, be helpful to others when you are feeling like there is imposter syndrome knocking on your door. Johanna, this syndrome is holding you back. So sorry to hear. Share it. Please try these strategies that Marie Forleo is talking about. Sharing the shame, starting a hype file, and then shining your light on others. Like I said, she's also given a link to a video we can watch. I actually watched just a bit of it, and I've shared it to the group. I will also share it in the caption when I'm done, okay? If you're watching this on Instagram, because I'm thinking about putting this video on Instagram and maybe YouTube and other platforms, because I just feel like people outside of this group should also have access to this content. I just feel it's amazing. Imposter syndrome is something a lot of us deal with, so I feel like I should really share it. So wherever you are watching this, check out the caption, or if you're watching this on Instagram, check the link in bio. And please, let's start it. Sylvia says, I am definitely starting a high file, and I'm giving you fist bump. Fist bump, fist bump. In fact, double fist bump for all of you, my ladies. Look, we are fabulous, okay? And the fact that we've made mistakes in the past, or we are having current challenges or fears and all, does not mean we are not fabulous. God's love doesn't stop because we made mistakes. God's love doesn't reduce. For as high as the heavens above, so great is the measure of our Father's love. Our Father's love is not going to reduce because you made a mistake. You slept with somebody's husband. You stole some money from work. You insulted your husband. You made a mistake. You blasted. You dropped balls. Your fabulosity has not reduced because of that. God's love is still on you, my sister. Together we are going to make it. And whatever it is that God has for us is going to happen. It's going to happen. Do you believe it? It's going to happen. On that note, let me take my talkative self away from your screens. I wish you the very best. God be with you. God loves you. Bye. Johanna.